So what's the Easter Bunny's favorite restaurant? IHOP, of course. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jack and Mo Cooking Show, where we put the home back in home cooking. And that's your only clue. The joke is your only clue as to what we're working on today. Not my ears, not my shirt, but the joke. And I'm going to let you in on it. So the secret is we're working on Easter. Easter's coming up right around the corner. So we're going to show you some ideas of what you can do with Easter leftovers. Now when I was growing up, we had Easter ham for weeks. And so we had ham sandwiches on white Wonder Bread for weeks. So here's my answer to that. We're going to show you how to make a ham and pineapple kebab. And we're going to cook it, guess where? On the waffle iron. So what we're going to start with is 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. We got 2 tablespoons of white distilled vinegar. We have 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. And this is going to be our marinade. And we're going to brush this right onto our ham and pineapple. And we have 1 tablespoon of mustard. Whoa! 1 tablespoon of mustard. Okay. We'll give it some heat. And we're going to stir it up a bit.
Not using the spatula?
No, we're going to use the spatula for the easy Easter dessert we're going to make.
No, okay.
So we want to get this.
It's in the second act, right?
That's right. So we want to get this nice and smooth. Nice and hot. So this might be a good time, Mike, to talk about prophecies of a single parent. So let's talk holidays. When holidays would roll around, I felt that it was my parental responsibility to do 2 things. Create memories and create traditions. So I worked really hard to do things Morgan would remember forever. One of them is something that just about every family does. We did a plastic egg Easter hunt out in the yard. There were years when I was out there and I was hiding Easter eggs at 3 or 4 in the morning, just waiting for the cops to show up to see what I was doing. And the other thing I did was I always made sure we had a big holiday dinner. And I invited lots of friends and lots of family, cousins, aunts, uncles from both sides of the family. So Morgan would have memories of spending time with the whole family, not just my side. And I would spend days cooking. And I'd always have Morgan helping me somehow. So, you know, she might help me with the cooking, or she might set the table, or she might clean the house. As she got older and she didn't want to do the Easter egg hunts anymore, I had her hiding the eggs, filling the eggs and hiding them for the kids that were coming. And so, you know, we created a lot of memories, but the most important one was that I would get Morgan a different Easter basket every year. So that way, when she got a little older and she got her own place, she had a collection of these wonderful baskets from her daddy that she could put all over the house or all over the apartment and fill with all kinds of stuff. And that is the tip for this week. The moral of the story is create memories and traditions around holidays. Okay. So our marinade is looking good. Let's just let it cool a little bit. Stir it around a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to build our kebabs. So I've got these wooden skewers. We'll start with a little pineapple. This is just canned pineapple right from the grocery store. And I want to try to put it sort of toward about a quarter of the way down. And we're going to alternate pineapple and ham. Okay, so this is what you can do with your leftover ham. Now if you want to do this any other time of the year, you don't have to wait until you cook a ham. Whoop. you can. What I did for the purposes of this this video is I bought a ham steak, and I just chopped it into cubes.
Did you have to soak those skewers first
Yes.
so they wouldn't burn?
Yep.
How long did you do it for? 20 minutes, half an hour?
Just about.
Water?
I keep skipping one. Yeah. So lukewarm water.
Pineapple ham, pineapple ham, pineapple ham.
I know. I'm
Oh.
just. I'm a. I love ham. So I kind of prefer the ham sometimes. Okay, so there's one. We'll do one more. This time we'll start with the ham. Now another great idea for Easter leftovers is a ham and cheese with baby spinach and mustard Jack and Mo waffle witch. We actually have that in our cookbook. And I did it again, Mike. And we have that in our cookbook. And so you just build your sandwich and toast it in the waffle iron, as you've seen us do so many different times. Push these up a little bit. And one more piece of pineapple. Okay. And now we're going to use our marinade. Take a handy dandy brush. And we're just going to paint these guys. I feel like, what's his name, Mike, the guy on PBS, the artist?
Bob Ross?
Bob Ross. I'm going to paint my happy little pineapple, my happy little ham. Now the other way you can do this, folks, if you want to, is you can just put your ham and your pineapple in a mixing bowl, pour in your marinade, stir it around, and then build your kebabs. This is a fun thing to do with kids. Morgan loved to do this. She called it ham and pineapple on a stick.
Makes sense.
And when we're done with this, folks, we're going to show you how to make easy Easter brownies, and the kids can decorate them. Kids, who am I kidding? I love to decorate
The adults decorate them.
That's
Come
right.
on. That's where all the fun is.
That's right. See, yeah, we used to do these Easter egg hunts where I would, spend an hour filling up about 100 different eggs with jelly beans and candy, and then hide them all over the yard. And Morgan would go out there and then take the camera and watch her, give her an empty Easter basket, watch her go out there and find them. But I always hid a few just so she couldn't find them, so I could find them later.
That's a good plan.
Yep. Okay, so we have our 2 pineapple. So Mike, on St. Patrick's Day, I had the pleasure and the privilege of volunteering some time to the Utica Food Pantry. We were over at the Irish Cultural Center on Columbia Street, and we unloaded almost 4,000 meals off of a truck, and we put those boxes of food into the cars of people in need in our community. The Utica Food Pantry is a wonderful agency that we have right here in our community that provides food for those in need who are struggling, not only in the economy, but also during COVID. So I would plead with people that if you have the means, if you have the time, find a way to help Utica Food Pantry, whether it be volunteering your time or a monetary donation or taking food to them, picking up a few extra things during your shopping trip and dropping it off, or contact Jack and Mo Cooking Show. We'll pick it up and bring it to them for you. If you can do that, we'd really appreciate it. And you can find the Utica Food Pantry on Facebook, and you can see all the wonderful things they do. And there are pictures of us loading these boxes of food into vehicles for folks to take home and feed their families with. Now we're going to work on our easy brownies, Easter brownies. So we're going to start with a half a cup of flour. We got a cup of sugar. These are our dry ingredients. Let me mix that together. And there's your bachelor, Mike.
Perfect. Second act.
Yep. Can you hear the waffle iron, Mike?
I can. They're sizzling away.
That sound is always, means always delicious goodness to me.
Me too.
So we gotta mix up combine our dry ingredients. Okay. Now we're going to combine our wet ingredients. So we have half a stick of butter, and we have 2 eggs that I cracked and whipped.
It's melted butter, right?
Yep,
Do you salt it or unsalted?
unsalted. And I'm just going to use my whisk, and I'm just going to mix them up a little bit, combine them a little bit more.
What was that, 2 eggs?
2 eggs. Okay. Mike, do you want to get a shot and see how the kabobs are doing?
Sure. Those look good.
Look at that. Why don't
Time
we
to flip
turn-
them yet?
What's that?
All right. I just asked you if it was time to flip them yet.
Oh yeah. And we're gonna marinate them a little more too. Ooh, starting to smell good, aren't they, Mike?
They are.
Okay. All right. Okay, so now we're going to take, let me just do this a little more. Now we're going to take our wet ingredients, combine them with our dry ingredients.
The alchemy has begun.
Yep.
So we're not using metals.
And now we're going to combine this. So we used flour, sugar, cocoa, butter, and eggs.
Just to clarify, that was cocoa and butter, not cocoa butter.
Right.
For everybody.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so this is going to
Because
take
you know
a
you're
little
going to get a
while.
message from someone who tried to do it with cocoa butter.
What's that?
You know you're going to get a message from someone who tried to do it with
Oh,
cocoa
yeah.
butter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So once we have this all mixed up and ready to go, what you would do is take a cake pan and spray it with palm oil, and then you would simply fill the cake pan with your brownie batter, and then put it in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes on 350. And the way you can tell if they're done is you take a toothpick and you pop the toothpick into the center of the brownie pan, and if it comes out clean, it's done. If there's a little batter still stuck to it, you got to put it back in for a few more minutes and try again. Okay, so that's your brownie batter, and just lo and behold, we happen to have a finished product that I made earlier today. Now, instead of a cake pan, I happen to have an individual compartment brownie pan. So we made our brownies individually. And now we'll go into the decorating part of this. So if you take a can of green frosting, and then you take a little peep, pop it right in there.
Peeps.
You like peeps, Mike? I love peeps.
I actually do.
And then you can pop this in there, and then you can always throw in some jelly beans. And we have some half jelly beans that I cut in half. And we have some whole jelly beans. And this is something you can give the kids to do to occupy them while you're doing 100 million other things. Because we know half the name of the game when you're cooking on the holidays is keeping your insanity. Right, Mike?
Yes.
And personally, I like to buy a little extra just in case. So, you know, I bought like 4 bags of Peeps and 3 bags of jelly beans just for the sake of the video. And if you believe that, I've got some swampland I'd love to sell you.
I was gonna say, I think that's for personal consumption.
Okay, so those are our make-ahead easy brownies. You know, all you're doing is mixing your dry with your wet, put your Peeps, let your kids decorate, and you got dessert. So why don't we come right back over here, Mike, and check out our pineapple and ham kebabs. Oh, look at that.
They're looking good.
Let's brush them a little more, and then take them off and give them a try. What do you think?
Sure.
All right.
Plating.
Yep.
That's the best part.
Actually, why don't we put one of these on a plate for you, Mike?
All right.
Okay. Now, I once made these for Morgan, and she watched me as I very carefully took the pieces off with a fork to eat them. And she looked at me in horror. She said, "Dad, what are you doing?" "I'm eating my kebab." "That's not the way to do it. This is the way to do it."
I've never seen anyone do that.
Guess you have, I just did it. What do you think, Mike?
I like the marinade. That's really good.
Yeah. Well, there you go, folks. That's our Easter episode. Ham pineapple kebabs for your leftovers and your easy brownie dessert. So happy cooking and have a great day.